Joe Tegerdine is a Republican candidate for the 4th District seat of the United States House of Representatives from the state of Mississippi. Joe is an American by birth. He is a conservative by personal conviction. He is a Mississippian by choice. He comes from the Tea Party background, which means he understands our frustration and our anger at what is going on today in Washington. He's our kind of people because he is in fact one of us. He's pro-gun, pro-life, pro-family, pro-constitution, and pro-states' rights. He believes that there are in fact limits to the powers of the federal government, follows the counsel of the first president of these United States, George Washington, in being a non-interventionalist when it comes to foreign policy. He was the first congressional candidate to become a signatory to the Patriot Pledge. By signing that pledge, Joe self-limits his term to 12 years in office and promises to actually read and understand the bills before voting on them. No more vote on it so then we can find out what's actually in the bill. Joe promises prudent financial policy. He rejects special treatment for members of Congress. He vows open meetings and promises never to become a lobbyist once leaving office. The Pearl River Patriots were formed to help restore morality, constitutional principles, and the notion that our government should be, in the words of Abraham Lincoln, of the people, by the people, and for the people. We are conservatives. We are proud Americans. We are not separated by labels, and we will not be intimidated by them. We're united by belief, by dedication, and by a determination to take our country back from those who want to apologize for this nation, who want to go around the world bowing to dictators and despots, and who think our Constitution is a fundamentally flawed document. We invited all the candidates for this seat to come speak to us, to tell us what they believe in, what platform they're running on. One candidate, the incumbent, steadfastly refused to speak to us at all. We listened carefully to those who did speak to us. We questioned them, often very sharply, about possible contradictions in what they say and what they do, and by what they really mean by their words. We did not permit them to limit themselves to sound bites and infomercial politics. We asked questions and we demanded answers. Then we spent a good deal of time debating on whether our group should in fact endorse any candidate at all. Finally, we polled our membership. The answer was resounding. 100% of those who voiced an opinion voted to endorse Joe Tegerdine. And so, I am proud and I am honored today to announce that the Pearl River Patriots endorse and we pledge our support to our friend and our neighbor from Petal, Mississippi, the next representative from the 4th U.S. District of the House of Representatives from the great state of Mississippi, Joe Tegerdine. And I ask you all, June 1st, get out and vote. Your country needs you to vote, to voice your opinion at this time in our history. Thank you.
I'm Donna Knezovich, and I'm with We the People of Pearl River County, who's a local chapter of We the People Congress, a national organization who held a Continental Congress in St. Charles, Illinois, November of last year. At that Congress, 14 violations, major violations of the Constitution were identified, along with remedial actions in order to change that. Our one and only goal is to return this country to constitutional governance. Most of our elected representatives don't even understand the Constitution anymore, and those who do ignore it. Very few people understand what freedom means. Freedom as free people means we are free over our dominion. That means we are free for our person, our family, and our property. Liberty means that statute laws are not made to restrict our freedom. This is supposed to be a country of freedom and liberty. We don't see a lot of that anymore. Constitutional governance is what is required to get our country back. Joe is committed to the Constitution. He not only is committed to it, he's read it and he understands it. We want our government again to be of the people. It and Joe will be of the people because he is one of us. He was a Tea Party person before he became a candidate. For the people, Joe will be for us because he is not part of the political machine. He owes his allegiance to the grassroots people, to all of you here and to us in the various organizations who are supporting him. He doesn't owe his allegiance to the political party, to the political machine. And by the people, because Joe is not a politician. He's a working person just like us, who's going to take 8 years off, go to Congress, and represent us and come back home. He's not a career politician. Joe's one of the smartest guys I know. He's proposed some common sense solutions to the problems we have, such as term limits, such as one-item legislation where we can't put a lot of pork in bills and people can't be bought and can't be coerced into voting for legislation that they know is bad. He will read the legislation and he will work for us. He's one of the most principled men I've ever met, and I've known him for over a year now. A lot of people ask me, well, how do you know he's not going to be just like the rest of the people when he gets to Washington? And I say, that's easy because I know Joe. He's a man of principle. He values his principles, and he will always maintain his principles. I think there's going to be a big turnover in the elections process this year, and we're going to get a lot of Tea Party candidates in there, and so Joe's going to have some help. But I know that even if Joe was the only one in Congress fighting for us, he would still fight for us. And because of that, we the people of Pearl River County are very pleased to endorse Joe Tegerdine for the 4th Congressional District of Mississippi.